yeah. You talk different lately. Like every sentence got a filter on it now. You talk different lately. And I noticed way before tonight. You used to call just to complain about traffic. Now everything for scheduled, measured. Like you're choosing words carefully before they leave your mouth. I caught you typing, stopping, retyping 3 times yesterday. And somehow that tiny pause stayed in my head all night. Funny how love changes through tone first. Before distance, before silence, before anybody admits something's wrong. You still laugh at my worst jokes, still steal bites off my plate, still know exactly how to calm me down. But something underneath it all keeps flickering lately. You talk different lately, like you're halfway somewhere else while laying right beside me. You touch me the same, but your voice don't land where it used to anymore. You talk different lately, and honestly that's scarier than fighting, because at least anger sounds honest. This just sounds careful. The elevator ride upstairs got awkward again. You checked your phone twice before kissing me. Hello, your hoodie's still on my chair, your charger's still plugged into my wall. Everything's still physically here except certainty outside. Rain dragged across the window softly. The apartment smelled like coffee and laundry detergent. For one stupid second you smiled at me exactly like before, which made me realize hope can be exhausting too. Nobody talks about this stage when nobody cheated, nobody left, but both people quietly feel the shift happening anyway. You talk different lately, like every conversation got distance built inside it, like we're trying not to trigger something fragile. Every time we speak too honestly, you talk differently. Still saying drive safe, still reaching for my waist automatically, still loving me in familiar ways, while emotionally drifting inch by inch. Maybe relationships don't collapse dramatically, maybe they soften slowly until one day you realize the person beside you still sounds like themselves, just not with you anymore. You talk different lately, and I hate that I can hear it this clearly now. In your pauses, in your text, in the way you say my name too gently lately. You talk different lately, and somehow that's harder than goodbye, because part of you still loves me, while another part already sounds like memory. Your toothbrush still beside mine, coffee going cold again, the television glowing softly while neither one of us pays attention. You asked me how my day was, the same way you always do, but somewhere between your voice and the sound of the rain outside, I noticed we've both been speaking more carefully lately, like we're trying not to wake something fragile. Dim rooms, blue light, everything still looks the same tonight. Warm skin, long sighs, something just don't feel the same inside. Yeah. Same lips touching mine in the dark, same hands pulling me closer slowly, same side of the bed every night, but something don't hold me the same anymore. Same laugh drifting through the apartment, same keys falling onto the table. Nothing changed loudly between us, that's what makes it harder to explain. Harder to explain. You still reach for me half asleep, like your body remembers before your heart does. The hallway smells like your cologne, mixed with last night's takeout and rainwater. Funny how distance arrives quietly, not through screaming, not through goodbye, but through smaller silences, longer pauses and conversations ending too early. The city kept glowing outside the window, cars moving through wet streets, like everybody else still knew where they were going. Soft rain, TV glow, everything moving slower tonight. Half smiles, low eyes, something feels unfinished tonight. Same lips touching mine in the dark, same hands pulling me closer slowly, same side of the bed every night, but something don't hold me the same anymore. Same laugh drifting through the apartment, same keys falling onto the table. Nothing changed loudly between us, that's what makes it harder to explain. Maybe love doesn't disappear suddenly, maybe it leaves fingerprints first on conversations, on eye contact, on the quiet space between two people trying their best. Same lips touching mine in the dark, same hands pulling me closer slowly, same side of the bed every night, but something don't hold me the same anymore. Same laugh drifting through the apartment, same keys falling onto the table. Nothing changed loudly between us, that's what makes it harder to explain. And somehow that's the part I keep replaying most.
You always find me.
When we stop talking,
Guess I don't know how not to.
stop sending random voice notes. Stop calling just to complain about traffic. But somehow, every time we drift too far apart, you still end up next to me again like tonight.
You said you were just grabbing water, then stay leaning against the counter, watching me scroll through nothing for 20 minutes. Funny how people can act distant all week,
then suddenly look at you like they still remember everything.
Yeah. You still wear my old t-shirts to sleep, still steal fries off my plate automatically, still text me made it home, even after nights where we barely touched each other emotionally.
And honestly, that's what keeps confusing me,
because every time I think we
finally lost this thing,
you do something small
that feels exactly like before. No big moment,
no dramatic scene,
just little habits refusing to disappear. Your eyes still searching
for me first in crowded rooms like
muscle memory. You still find me,
even when we spend the whole night acting distant.
still end up standing too close in hallways,
still reach for me
half asleep. You still find me,
like your body remembers us
faster than your mind does.
And maybe that's why moving on
never fully works between us,
because no matter how
strange this gets,
some part of you
still comes back. You noticed I changed perfumes immediately, even though you forgot what story I told you yesterday. Funny what survives in relationships. Sometimes romance disappears first,
but familiarity stays forever. The elevator ride upstairs felt awkward tonight, until your hand touched my lower back automatically like instinct. Move quicker than doubt again.
And for one stupid second, I wanted to believe
we were okay. You still laugh differently with me, softer, less filter, like some version of us still exists underneath all this tension. Outside the city kept moving like normal, meanwhile we stood in silence, trying not to admit that neither one of us actually knows how to
leave emotionally.
Same shoes by the doorway,
same names in each other's phones,
same pause before
saying goodbye lately. You still find me in crowded party, quiet apartment, long drive, awkward morning, still somehow circle back toward me,
like distance only works
temporarily on us. You still find me,
even after difficult conversations,
sleeping after nights we sleep, facing opposite directions. And honestly,
maybe that's the saddest part.
not that we're broken, but that some part of us still fits perfectly.
You change the song before the chorus again. Your hands stay resting near the gear shift but never touch mine. Rain kept sliding sideways across the windshield. Street lights bending gold, through the glass. You asked if I was hungry, the same way people ask when they mean something else entirely. And somehow that hurt more than fighting ever did, because silence only gets this careful when two people already feel something fading. Low beams, wet streets, everything moving slower tonight. Half words, long sighs, nobody's saying what's on their mind. Passenger seat silence, your knees still brushing against mine in red lights. But every conversation lately feel like walking barefoot through broken glass. Passenger seat silence, you still laugh at the same parts of movies. Still fries off my plate, still fall asleep facing my side. And somehow that's what makes this harder. Kept fixing your sleeve nervously every time I glanced toward you, like eye contact had started carrying too much weight. The city kept glowing outside, gas stations, empty intersections, late night diners, all those places still looked alive. Meanwhile us felt like two people trying not to disturb something already dying quietly. Funny how relationships rarely collapse dramatically most of the time. They just slowly stop reaching for each other the same way. Blue signs, cold rain, everything feeling unfinished tonight. Soft voice, tired eyes, nobody's saying what they really mean. Passenger seat silence, your knees still brushing against mine in red lights. But every conversation lately feel like walking barefoot through broken glass. Passenger seat silence, you still laugh at the same parts of movies. Still fries off my plate, still fall asleep facing my side. And somehow that's what makes this harder. I think the saddest part is nothing actually happened. No cheating, no screaming, no goodbye. Just two people slowly becoming lonelier next to each other. Passenger seat silence, rainwater trembling underneath the headlights. You reach for the volume knob again right before the chorus hit, like maybe neither one of us could handle hearing the words tonight. Passenger seat silence, still parked outside your apartment building. Engine running, neither one of us moving, like if we sat there long enough, maybe we'd sound like us again.
your phone glowing against your face, the television running low, my voice somewhere in the background next to dishes in the sink. I asked if you remembered that restaurant near Houston Street, the one where we stayed too long because neither one of us wanted the night to end. You said, yeah, kinda, without looking away from the screen. And somehow that tiny moment sat heavier in my chest than all our old arguments combined. Blue light, long nights, everything feeling distant lately. Warm room, soft rain, but somehow colder between us. You hear me less these days, like my words stop halfway before they reach you. Like we're living inside the same apartment, but different versions of the night. You hear me less these days, still touching me automatically, still kissing me goodbye in the mornings. But emotionally, you already feel somewhere else sometimes. Coffee machine buzzed softly, rainwater sliding down the windows. Your hoodie tossed across the couch, like proof you still technically live here. Funny how relationships change quietly. First they lose curiosity, then eventually even stories you've heard before stop sounding worth listening to. You used to notice everything, new earrings, different perfume, the way my voice changed when I was pretending not to cry. Now I can stand beside you silently for 10 minutes and somehow disappear completely. TV glow, cold tea, everything dragging slower tonight. Half smiles, low eyes, nobody's saying what they really feel. You hear me less these days, like my words stop halfway before they reach you. Like we're living inside the same apartment, but different versions of the night. You hear me less these days, still touching me automatically, still kissing me goodbye in the mornings. But emotionally, you already feel somewhere else sometimes. Or maybe that's what scares me most, not losing you suddenly, but slowly becoming background noise inside your life. Apart in bed, even when your hand still finds my waist, half asleep at 3 a.m. You hear me less these days, and somehow that's harder than goodbye, because part of you is still here, while another part already sounds distant, like a song fading room by room inside the apartment. Don't do that.
Do what?
Act like you don't know what's wrong. the same glass 3 times without realizing it. Wouldn't look directly at me, just kept drying your hands on that gray towel near the stove. The apartment got weirdly quiet after midnight. Even the refrigerator hum sounded too loud. You stopped asking if I made it home safe about 2 months ago. I noticed immediately,
just never said anything. You bite your lower lip right before you cry, still do. That's how I knew you were holding something back tonight. Your side of the bed's been colder lately. Not physically, just emotionally colder somehow. Like you're beside me without fully arriving anymore.
We still split Uber rides, still send each other memes at work, still know each other's coffee orders. So why does this room suddenly feel like somewhere we're visiting? After the argument, you started folding laundry at 1 AM just to avoid touching me. After the argument, I pretended to fall asleep first, so I wouldn't have to hear you crying quietly.
Nothing dramatic happened.
No broken plates, no screaming, no goodbye. Just 2 people standing in the same kitchen, feeling lonelier than they do alone. You still share your location with me, but somehow feel harder to reach now. Funny how distance changes shape, first emotionally, then digitally, then physically.
Your good morning text started sounding copied and pasted, like something sent out of habit instead of desire. And honestly, that
Hurt more than silence would've.
the rain outside kept hitting the balcony rails. You wrap yourself tighter in my hoodie, still choosing my clothes even while pulling away from me. That's the part nobody talks about, how relationships sometimes die affectionately, softly, with both people still trying.
Your charger's still plugged into my side, my toothbrush still next to yours. Everything still looks like love, except the feeling itself. After the argument, you clean the kitchen slower than usual, like you needed extra time before standing next to me again. After the argument, I heard you turning over all night without actually sleeping. Nothing changed loudly between us.
That's why it's terrifying,
because if love can fade this quietly,
how do you even know
when it's already happening? You know what's messed up?
what?
I still wanted you to hold me after all that. You still flirting during arguments?
Only when you're mad at me.
Your hand brushing my waist while we're barely speaking. Half-empty takeout containers still sitting on the coffee table.
The apartment smelled like rainwater, laundry detergent, and unresolved tension.
You asked if I wanted wine.
In that same voice
You used the first night we met.
and honestly, that almost made me more emotional.
Because how do 2 people still want each other this much,
but slowly losing
whatever used to make things easy. Dim rooms, slow jazz,
everything leaning
closer tonight. Warm skin, long sighs.
Nobody's saying what's really wrong. Oh.
We're halfway home, still kissing like nothing changed between us.
Still laughing in the
Kitchen at 2 a.m., still knowing exactly how to calm each other down.
oh.
We're halfway home, still touching like memory lives in our hands.
But every beautiful moment lately feels like two people
Trying to say something quietly.
You rolled your eyes while still in my hoodie, like irritation and affection still share the same apartment now. Outside the city, blurred through rain again, headlights trembling across the ceiling. And somehow everything about tonight felt painfully familiar. The way your voice softens when you're tired, the way we almost apologize without actually saying it.
Funny how love can still feel warm,
Even while slowly becoming complicated.
blue glow, cold rain,
Everything dragging
softer tonight. Half smiles, low eyes.
Nobody's saying what they really feel. Oh.
We're halfway home, still kissing like nothing changed between us.
Still laughing in the
Kitchen at 2 a.m., still knowing exactly how to calm each other down. We're halfway home, still touching like memory lives in our hands.
But every beautiful moment lately
Feels like two people trying to save something quietly.
maybe that's why this hurts differently.
Because nobody stopped loving first.
We just slowly became more exhausted.
Then honest,
And maybe that's the strangest part.
you still know exactly
How I
take my coffee,
still reach for my hand
crossing the street, still call me
when the elevator makes that weird sound.
like love is still here, just buried underneath everything we stopped saying. Halfway home, still tangled together in the sheets by morning.
Still memorizing each other's breathing automatically.
Still reaching across the bed, half asleep. We're halfway home, still dancing around the hard conversations.
While the city keeps glowing outside the windows.
And somewhere between intimacy and distance, I think we're both waiting for the old version of us to come back.
You're still flirting during arguments.
Only when I'm scared you're leaving. Only when I'm scared you're leaving. You left the balcony door open.
I like hearing the rain.
The kitchen light still glowing softly, your sweatshirt hanging on the chair, steam rising from forgotten teacups, midnight settling in the air. You look different tonight, not physically, just emotionally quieter somehow, like someone trying to carry thoughts without dropping them everywhere.
Outside, rain kept washing the city silver.
Cars sliding slowly through wet streets,
And for the first time in weeks,
us sitting together didn't feel exhausting.
soft
Rain, dim lights,
everything leaning closer tonight.
warm hands, slow sighs.
There's nobody ruining this moment yet.
Rain on the balcony, your shoulder brushing softly into mine again, like we remembered each other briefly before the distance came back in. Rain on the balcony,
The city disappearing underneath the storm.
for a second it almost felt like we still knew how to be us.
You laughed at something small I said, the same way you used to months ago. And honestly, that scared me a little, because temporary happiness can feel crueler than sadness sometimes. The rain kept tapping softly against the balcony rails. You wrapped the blanket tighter around your shoulders, and I almost reached for your hand automatically, before remembering how careful we become lately.
Funny how love doesn't always disappear.
Sometimes it just gets tired.
Blue glow,
Cold rain,
everything's slowing down tonight. Half smiles,
warm skin,
nobody asking difficult questions. Rain on the balcony, your shoulder brushing softly into mine again, like we remembered each other briefly before the distance came back in. Rain on the balcony,
the city disappearing underneath the storm.
for a second it almost felt like we still knew how to be Maybe that's why nights like this hurt later, because they remind you
The connection is still there,
just harder to reach now.
and maybe that's worse than losing somebody completely, knowing they're still beside you, but further away each month.
Rain on the balcony,
Your voice softer than it's been in weeks tonight.
storm moving slowly past the windows while neither one of us looked away. Rain on the balcony,
The apartment finally quiet enough to breathe.
and somewhere between the thunder and the silence,
I missed us.
more than I wanted to admit. No, that's not what I meant. You used to type my name with 2 extra letters at the end, like somehow even texting needed affection back then. 2:13 a.m. My screen still lighting up the ceiling while I reread old conversations like they belong to somebody else now. Funny how you can track the slow death of a relationship through punctuation alone. The shorter replies, the missing goodnights, the way come over slowly became maybe tomorrow. Blue screen, dark room, everything feels louder tonight. Old text, soft rain, nothing sounding the same tonight. I read it again, the message where you said you couldn't sleep without hearing my voice. I read it again, like maybe the words will rearrange themselves into something that still sounds like us. Now your replies feel careful, like we're both trying not to touch whatever broke between us. And somehow that's the part I can't stop reopening. You stopped sending random pictures, stopped calling just to say you made it home safe. Stop reaching for me automatically, like love has slowly turned into habit, and habit has started fading too. The city outside my apartment looked exhausted tonight. Street lights trembling in puddles, cars hissing through wet pavement. Everything moving forward except me, still staring at messages from a version of us that no longer exists. Cold glow, half smiles, everything feels unfinished tonight. Long sighs, low eyes, nothing landing the same night. I read it again, the message where you said you couldn't sleep without hearing my voice. I read it again, like maybe the words will rearrange themselves into something that still sounds like us. Now your replies feel careful, like we're both trying not to touch whatever broke between us. And somehow that's the part I can't stop reopening. Maybe memories survive differently now, not through photographs, not through gifts, but through tiny digital ghost old timestamps, typing bubbles that never appeared again. I read it again, paragraph you sent me outside the restaurant in December, back when forever still sounded believable. Read it again, while the rain kept tapping against my windows at 3 a.m. And somewhere between your old words and the silence in my apartment, I realized missing someone doesn't always happen after they leave. Face down, why your phone face down tonight? Face down, you never used to do that before. You smiled at something on your screen, then locked it before I could accidentally see. Not fast enough to look guilty, just fast enough to make me notice. Funny how relationships change through tiny gestures, new passwords, lower brightness, turning your phone over during dinner conversations. And maybe I'm overthinking, but you used to leave pieces of yourself open naturally. Now everything feels softly edited. You still kiss my forehead half asleep, still pull me closer during thunderstorms, still know exactly when my mood changes. So why does honesty suddenly feel expensive between us? Phone facing down on the table tonight, while your arms still wrapped around my waist. You still love me in familiar ways. That's what makes this harder to facing down beside your glass, like some part of you already left the room. And honestly, I don't know what's worse, being lied to, or slowly becoming somebody you stop telling things to. Stop telling things to. You changed your passcode last Tuesday. Thought I didn't notice, but I noticed everything lately. The delay replies, the sudden need for alone time. The way you laugh sounds different when it comes from another room. Outside, headlights dragged across the ceiling. The apartment smelled like your cologne and leftover takeout. And somehow that combination almost made me cry, because ordinary things still feel heartbreakingly intimate with you. Your shoes still next to mine by the doorway. My hoodie still hanging near your side. Everything's still shaped like love, except the certainty. All facing down on the table tonight, while your fingers trace circles on my thigh. You still touch me like habit, still hold me like memory, still say drive safe before I leave. And maybe that's why this hurts differently, because emotionally you're still here enough to confuse me. Nobody talks about this part, the quiet suspicion, the soft paranoia, the way trust rarely disappears dramatically. It usually fades through tiny hesitations, tiny edits, tiny pauses, until one day you realize you've started reading silence like evidence. Phone facing down beside the bed tonight, while rain kept tapping softly at the windows. You fell asleep facing my side instinctively, like your body still believed in love. Phone facing down in the dark again, and somehow that tiny detail felt louder than every I love you you said this month, because maybe distanced doesn't arrive through goodbye. Maybe it arrives through small secrets people pretend don't matter. I saw your jacket by the hallway chair and almost smiled, which is kinda embarrassing, considering how weird things have been between us lately. The TV was playing something neither of us cared about. You kept scrolling, I kept pretending not to notice how long it took you to answer me now. Outside, somebody's car alarm kept going off in the distance, and somehow that felt accurate, like something annoying and unresolved sitting underneath everything lately. Still, when you laughed at that dumb commercial for half a second, you sounded exactly like yourself again. I miss when touching you felt uncomplicated, before every conversation started carrying hidden meanings, before silence became something we both noticed immediately. Back when we danced in the kitchen barefoot, back when midnight felt exciting instead of fragile, back when you pulled me closer automatically, like loving me wasn't something you had to think about. that didn't feel this careful all the time. You still know exactly how I take my coffee. Still hand me the fries, you know I like most. Still reach behind my neck when my necklace gets tangled. Like your hands remember us better than your heart does lately. Funny what survives relationship fatigue. Not passion, not certainty, just tiny acts of familiarity that somehow hurt worse than distance. The rain started tapping lightly against the windows again. Second, and I realized you looked exhausted in the same way I felt. Nobody warns you that love can become emotionally tired before it disappears completely. Back when we danced in the kitchen barefoot, back when staying up late still felt romantic, back when your mood didn't change every time your phone lit up, back when we touched each other without overthinking everything after. And honestly, maybe that's why nights like this feel dangerous, because every once in a while we accidentally sound like ourselves again. I don't think we're toxic, I think we're just two people trying to hold on to something beautiful after life stopped feeling soft around it. Back when we danced in the kitchen barefoot, back when your voice carried through the apartment differently, back when getting home and reaching for me first instead of reaching for silence. And maybe that's the saddest part. Nothing about us looks broken from the outside, but somewhere along the way love started feeling effortless, and neither one of us knows exactly when. Falling back into bad habits. Falling back, you already know what happens. You still sending memes at midnight, like we didn't spend all week, emotionally exhausted. Still pull me closer in crowded rooms, like your body forgot we're complicated now. I know the exact tone in your voice when you're pretending everything's okay, and you still know mine too. That's the dangerous part, not the fighting, not the distance, but how naturally we still fit into each other's routines. You still call when your night's going bad, still ask if I ate, still leave half your hoodies at my place, like neither one of us really believes in goodbye. Falling back into bad habits, back into your hands on my waist, like nothing ever changed between us. Falling back into long drives, late replies, half-finished conversations at midnight. Every time I think we're finally done, you look at me like the first month all over again, and suddenly I forget every reason this got difficult. noticed I sounded tired immediately, even through one-word text messages. Funny how intimacy survives strangely. Sometimes people stop communicating honestly, but still memorize each other's breathing patterns. Outside, the city looked blurred from rain again. Streetlights dragging gold across wet pavement. And somehow this whole relationship lately felt exactly like that. Beautiful, but impossible to hold still. Your side of the closet still untouched. My name still your emergency contact. Everything still halfway connected. That's what keeps ruining my progress. Falling back into bad habits. Back into your voice getting softer when we're alone too long. Falling back into fake goodbyes, missed calls, and pretending we're less attached than we are. Every time I think we're finally over, you do something small that feels painfully familiar again. And suddenly, all the distance between us collapses. Maybe some relationships don't end cleanly. Maybe they loop quietly through habits, through memory, through loneliness at the wrong hour. Falling back into bad habits, still memorizing your footsteps in the hallway. Still checking if you made it home safely. Still hearing you left different me than everybody else's. Falling back into unfinished feelings, because no matter how many times we almost let go, something in us still reaches back automatically. That smell still ruin my focus. You walk by me slowly, and suddenly the whole room changed. You still wear that perfume too heavy at night, the one that stays inside hoodies long after you leave, the one that turned every elevator ride into emotional whiplash for me last winter. Funny how scent remembers people better than photographs do. 1 second I'm normal, next second I'm back inside your passenger seat at 1 a.m. Windows fogging up, both of us pretending we weren't already falling apart back then. You lean too close tonight, and my whole body reacted automatically, like memory got reflexes, like desire. Don't care how complicated things became. That familiar perfume on your skin again, and suddenly I forget every reason we said we needed space. That familiar perfume in the hallway turns small moments dangerous all over again. You still smell like late drives, missed exits, slow kisses at red lights. And honestly, maybe that's why moving on keep failing me lately. You heard me goodbye too long tonight, not enough to question, just enough to ruin my sleep Later, the city outside looks silver from rain again. Street lights dragging softly across your jawline. And somehow, everything about you tonight felt emotionally illegal. Like we crossed boundaries neither one of us admitted existed. You asked, you been okay? In that low voice that used to come every bad day instantly. And for one stupid second, I almost answered honestly. Your fingers brushed my wrist, barely there, still enough to restart emotions I worked hard to quiet down. That familiar perfume on your skin again. Suddenly the distance between us felt fake for a minute. Familiar perfume in the backseat, mixing with rainwater through cracked windows. You still smell like unfinished conversations and almost healed feelings, like a memory still refusing to fade correctly. The dangerous part, because healing feels impossible when memories keep learning new ways to touch you. Still there, still there. Every time you walk too close again, still there, still there. Like my body remembered before my mind do. And maybe that's what scares me most. Not that I still love you, but how naturally my heart still reacts to you. I said I miss you.
You just smiled this time.
That wasn't normal.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. You still walk around my apartment like you live here emotionally. Still know where I keep the clean towels. Still lower the TV volume when I start getting sleepy. But lately, every soft moment got this weird hesitation inside it, like we're both trying to avoid
the exact same conversation. You noticed immediately when I stopped saying love you first. Didn't ask about it, just got quieter after. Funny how people in long relationships become detectives without meaning to. You start reading pauses,
timing,
facial expressions, the speed of replies, like emotional body language.
We still split playlists on long drives,
Still text each other when
something funny happens.
still reach for each other automatically. So why does everything feel half a step away lately?
I say come closer, you still do. I say stay over, you still move your stuff to my side of the bed. But when I say I miss us, you look at me different now, like you're scared I'll ask something you don't know how to answer honestly.
Say it back
or don't. but silence been getting louder between us lately.
The waiter asked if we were celebrating something.
You laughed and said, still surviving each other.
Everybody at the table laughed, but I kept thinking about that sentence all night.
Because surviving love and feeling loved are not always the same thing.
Outside, rainwater dragged across the car windows.
Your hand stayed
Resting on my thigh during the drive home.
like affection still lived in your reflexes.
Even when certainty didn't. Yeah. You still send me pictures randomly. Your coffee, your outfit, a sunset you know I like.
And honestly,
That's what keeps confusing me, because nobody this emotionally distant should still feel this emotionally familiar. Yet somehow you do.
your side of the bathroom still messy. My fingerprints still on your mirror. Everything's still physically close,
Except whatever we're too scared to name.
I say come here, you still melt into me. Still fit against my chest like memory. Got muscle memory. I say talk to me, you still try.
Even when the words don't land
Right anymore, maybe that's why this hurts differently.
because nobody stopped caring
We just slowly stop knowing
how to reach each other correctly.
say it back or don't.
But either way,
I can feel the distance now. I almost said it when you looked at me like that. I almost said it when the room went quiet again. You leaned against the kitchen counter slowly, one hand wrapped around a coffee cup that already went cold 20 minutes ago. Rainwater sliding softly down the windows, the city glowing silver underneath midnight. And somehow everything about tonight felt dangerously familiar again. The way your voice softened when you asked if I was sleeping okay lately. The way your fingers brush mine, passing me the charge of tiny things, ordinary things. The exact kind of moments that keep ruining my progress with you. Nobody touched anybody yet, but tension kept moving through the apartment anyway. Like both of us knew one honest sentence could change the entire night. I almost said it, almost told you I still compare everybody else to you. I almost said it when your hand stayed near mine too long. You still look at me like memory hurts in real time. Still move closer when conversations turn quiet. And honestly, that's what keeps confusing my heart lately. Almost near the doorway. My perfume still living inside the fabric somewhere. Funny how objects stay emotionally loyal longer than people do outside. Headlights drag slowly across the ceiling. You looked exhausted tonight, not physically, emotionally exhausted. Like someone trying to carry love carefully without dropping it completely. And maybe I look the same way too, because neither one of us moved away first. Even when the silence got heavy, you kept fixing your sleeves nervously. I kept rereading your facial expressions, like both of us forgot how to act normal around unresolved feelings. I almost said it, almost asked if you still dream about me too. I almost said it, right there beside the refrigerator light. You still touch my wrist when you try to calm me down. Still notice small changes in my mood instantly. And maybe that's the coolest part. Nothing between us fully disappeared. Maybe that's why moving on feels incomplete. 'Cause every time distance finally starts working, you accidentally become soft with me again. Suddenly, all the healing starts shaking. Almost, you still feel like unfinished business. Almost, like love paused itself instead of ending. I almost said it tonight, almost ruined all the emotional distance we've been building. I almost said it when you smiled at me, like the old version of us again. You still feel familiar in all the worst ways. Still sound like comfort at the wrong hour. Still make my chest tighten from the smallest gestures. And maybe someday one of us will finally say everything honestly. But tonight, we just stood there, breathing too close, almost confessing again. Almost, every time we think it's over. Almost, something between us keeps surviving anyway. Come back slow. Don't rush this heart again. Come back soft. We already bruised enough lately. Your hoodie still folding near the foot of my bed, like part of you never fully moved emotionally. The city outside looked faded underneath midnight rain. Headlights sliding slowly across the ceiling. And somehow everything tonight felt suspended, like we were standing halfway between healing and repeating old mistakes again. You texted, "You awake," 3 words, still enough to restart every feeling. I spent weeks trying to organize. Love got quieter lately, not weaker, just more careful. Like both of us scared to break, was barely surviving. Come back slow. Don't touch me like the old days instantly. My heart still remember too much too fast. Come back slow. Don't say my name that soft tonight, because every replaying your voice, still emotionally yours in dangerous ways. So if you're coming back, come back slow, slow, slow. Love don't heal correctly in a rush. Slow, slow. We already know how fast beautiful things break. Elevator hums softly downstairs. Rainwater drags silver against the windows. Your perfume still living faintly inside my blankets. Like memory found another hiding place. Funny how certain people never fully leave your nervous system. Even silence with them feels emotionally loud somehow. You sat beside me carefully tonight, not distant, not fully close either. And honestly, that tiny hesitation hurt more than arguments ever did. Because effortless love used to be our favorite language. You still know exactly when my mood shifts. Still notice exhaustion inside my voice immediately. Baby, emotional intimacy survives longer than relationships do. Come back slow, don't kiss me like we healed already. My chest still fragile underneath all this nostalgia. Back slow. Don't look at me like December again, because your eyes still know how to undo me instantly. Still hearing comfort in your breathing, still reaching toward you unconsciously at midnight. Still one soft moment away from repeating everything. So if this love's still alive somewhere, come back slow. Maybe it's just two emotional, exhausted people trying to return gently without reopening every wound too fast. Slow, slow. Maybe tenderness still survives underneath us. Slow. Maybe broken things still deserve softness too. Come back slow. The night already heavy enough without confusion. Come back slow. We both know how this story can hurt. Still memorizing your footsteps instinctively. Still hearing home inside your tired voice somehow. And maybe that's what real attachment looks like. Not perfect timing, not easy healing, just two people trying to love each other carefully before the morning comes. One more night like this, and I'm falling again. One more touch like that, and my guard gon' melt away. Rain sliding slowly down the balcony glass again. Your hoodie tossed across my couch like you never emotionally left. The city lights look blurred underneath midnight. Soft gold reflections moving across your skin. And honestly, you sounded too comfortable tonight. Too familiar, too close to the version of you I spent months kiss, trying not to miss. You lean back, laughing softly, one hand resting in my knee, like distance between us was just temporary imagination. We both know this dangerous already. That's why neither one of us saying much, because silence been softer than honesty tonight. One more night like this, and I'm forgetting every boundary again. One more look like that, and my heart start acting reckless, still knowing exactly how to calm me down, still touching me like memory got hands. And maybe that's the problem. Nobody this emotionally unfinished should feel this good at midnight. Too close, too close. This apartment feel warmer when you soften up again. Too close, too close. And my healing starts slipping every time you smile like that. You asked if I still play that old playlist sometimes, the one from late drives downtown last winter. Funny how music survive relationships longer than people do. Outside, cars drag silver across the rain-soaked streets. The room smell like your cologne, coffee, and old conversations. You move closer without noticing, our knees touching lightly beneath the blanket. And suddenly, every difficult month between us felt emotionally thinner for a second. You still hear sadness in my voice immediately. Still know when I'm overthinking before I say it. Baby, intimacy don't disappear cleanly after all. One more night like this, and I might believe in us again. One more kiss like that, and all this emotional distance collapse. Still memorizing your breathing at midnight, still hearing comfort inside your tired voice. Still one soft moment away from reopening everything carefully buried. And honestly, it's terrifying. It's terrifying. Maybe some people stay emotionally dangerous forever, not because they're toxic, but because they still feel like home during lonely hours. Too close, too close. Maybe we never really stopped loving fully. Too close, too close. Maybe we just got scared of hurting deeper. One more night like this, and I start pretending I'm healing correctly. One more slow dance through this apartment, and my heart gon' choose you again automatically. Still reaching for your warmth instinctively, still feeling softer every time your voice drop low. And maybe that's what mature heartbreak really is, not losing somebody completely, just realizing you could still fall for them all over again. like us again. Maybe tomorrow this apartment won't feel so quiet. You left your coffee sitting on the counter too long again. Steam disappearing slowly into the kitchen light. Outside, rain kept dragging softly against the windows. The whole city looked emotionally tired tonight. And honestly, so did we. You leaned your head against my shoulder for a second. Not long enough to fix anything, just long enough to remind me what comfort used to feel like naturally. Nobody apologized tonight, nobody slammed doors, nobody even raised their voice. We just moved around each other carefully, like people carrying something fragile through darkness. Maybe tomorrow will sound like us again. Maybe your laugh won't feel so distant in the next room. Maybe tomorrow we'll stop speaking so carefully, like every sentence got bruises on it now. You still reach for me half asleep, still know exactly when my mood changes. So maybe love ain't fully broken here, maybe it's just tired. Maybe we're not as gone as this silence make it feel. Maybe there's still something warm underneath all this distance. Your hoodie still hanging near the bedroom door. My perfume still trapped inside the fabric somewhere. Funny how ordinary things keep acting like we're okay, while both of us quietly overthink everything. The television played softly in the background, neither one of us watching it. You kept tracing circles against my wrist absent-mindedly, and that tiny gesture almost broke my heart, 'cause your hand still loved me automatically, even when your thoughts seem somewhere else lately. The space between us felt smaller tonight, not healed, not fixed, just less heavy for a minute. Maybe tomorrow will sound like us again. Maybe midnight won't feel emotionally dangerous anymore. Maybe tomorrow we'll stop treating love like something fragile and temporary. You still memorize my breathing patterns, still pull the blanket toward my side first. And honestly, people this emotionally disconnected shouldn't still feel this familiar. I don't think we're falling out of love completely. I think life just got loud around us. Bill stress, fatigue, time and distance, until suddenly two people who love each other deeply start sounding lonely beside one another. Maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow we stop hurting so quietly. Maybe tomorrow we'll look at each other Love don't always disappear dramatically. Maybe sometimes we just wait for two tired people to find each other again.
Maybe we were just tired. Maybe love didn't fail completely. The dish is still sitting in the sink from Tuesday. Your hoodie still folded over the dining chair. The television glow filling half the apartment blue. And somehow everything tonight felt painfully ordinary. Like love didn't disappear dramatically, it just got buried underneath stress, late nights, bad timing, and emotional exhaustion. You still asked if I ate dinner, still fixed a blanket around my side instinctively, still sounded worried when my voice got too quiet. And honestly, people falling out of love shouldn't still feel this careful with each other. Maybe we blame distance when really life just got too loud around us. Maybe we were just tired, too tired to keep sounding romantic every night, too tired to say the perfect thing after arguments, still loving each other deeply but carrying too much weight at the same time. Maybe the relationship didn't break all at once. Maybe two exhausted people just slowly forgot how soft they used to sound together. Tired, so tired. Maybe heartbreak don't always mean love disappeared. Tired, so tired. Maybe some people just lose a rhythm for a slowly down the windows again. Your phone charging beside mine near the bed. The room smelled like coffee, fabric softener, and unfinished conversations. You leaned your head against my shoulder quietly, not trying to fix anything, just resting. And somehow that tiny moment felt more intimate than every I love you we forced lately. Funny how much your relationships work. Sometimes affection survives even while happiness struggles. You still know exactly when I'm pretending to be okay. Still notice stress inside my breathing immediately. Maybe that's worth more than dramatic romance now. Maybe we were just still reaching for each other automatically at midnight, still memorizing each other's sadness instinctively, still emotionally connected in quiet, invisible ways. Maybe we were just tired, not broken, not toxic, just overwhelmed humans trying to protect love while slowly running out of energy. surviving together quietly is romantic too. Tired, so tired. Maybe softness just needed space to breathe again. Tired, so tired. Maybe love still alive underneath all this fatigue. We were just tired. Maybe that's why your voice still feel like home sometimes. Maybe that's why your touch still calm my chest instantly. Still sitting beside each other after difficult nights. Still choosing not to leave. And maybe that's what real love becomes eventually. Less fireworks, more endurance, more patience, no quiet attempts to keep each other emotionally safe.
Still here, still picking up when you call me. Still here, even after all these quiet nights. You came home late again tonight. Rainwater shining on your jacket sleeves. The apartment smelled like coffee grounds and fabric softener. You said you awake like you didn't already know I would be. Funny how relationships survive through routine sometimes. Not passion, not certainty, just tiny repeated acts of presence. You still put your keys in the same bowl near the doorway. Still leave one lamp on for me in the living room. Still reach for my leg absent-mindedly while scrolling through your phone. Like your body never learned distance properly. Nobody fixed anything tonight. Nobody finally said the perfect words, but somehow the silence felt softer than usual. Still here, still answering your late night phone calls. Still here, still memorizing the sound of your footsteps. Still here, even when loving you start feeling complicated. Still here, even when the room feels emotionally colder lately. And maybe that's what real love actually looked like. Not fireworks, not perfection, just two tired people who haven't walked away yet. Still here, like muscle memory in human form. Still here, even when we don't know what we're fixing anymore. Your hoodie still hanging over my desk chair. My shampoo still on your side of the shower. Everything in this apartment still physically shaped like us outside. The city kept glowing through wet streets, cars dragging reflections across the ceiling. You sat beside me quietly, not close enough to hold, not far enough to leave. And somehow that distance between our shoulders felt more emotional than words. You still know when I'm pretending to be okay. Still notice tiny changes in my voice. Still ask if I ate dinner when your own day been terrible. So maybe we're not completely lost yet. Still here, still reaching for each other half asleep. Still here, still circling back after difficult nights. Still here, even when the laughter don't sound the same lately. Still here, trying to love through emotional exhaustion. And honestly, maybe survival is romantic too. maybe staying is its own kind of intimacy now. I used to think love ended loudly, door slamming, people leaving, big dramatic goodbyes. But sometimes love just gets quieter, softer, more fragile. And the real miracle is some people still stay gentle with each other anyway. Still here, still here. Maybe that's worth more than easy love. Still here while the rain keeps sliding down the balcony rails, while the television glow fill the apartment glow. Still hearing comfort inside your tired voice, even after everything got complicated. And maybe someday we'll finally feel like ourselves again. But tonight, loving each other softly is enough. Still here, still here. Still here, still Still here. Everybody think we're okay.
That's the hardest part.
We still look like love in public.
Yeah.
We just don't feel easy anymore. The waiter still calls us cute together. Your friends still joke about us acting merry already. We still post pictures smiling, still split Uber rides home.
Still know each other's coffee orders without asking twice. And honestly, that's what makes this loneliness feel invisible.
Because from the outside,
nothing looks broken. You still fix my collar automatically, still save me the corner pieces from takeout containers. Still text,
drive safe,
like affection survived perfectly. Meanwhile,
we barely say what's actually hurting anymore.
the apartment got quieter these last few months. Not physically, emotionally quieter. Like both of us started whispering around the relationship, trying not to disturb whatever fragile things still alive inside it.
Nobody cheated, nobody left, nobody even stopped caring completely. We just slowly became harder to reach. No one else knows how long silence lasts between our conversations now. No one else knows how carefully we choose words at midnight lately.
Still holding hands at parties,
Still sleeping in the same bed,
still sounding normal enough to
everybody else.
Meanwhile,
We feel like two people trying to remember how love used to breathe naturally. No one else knows.
no one else hears
The distance underneath our voices now. No one else knows
how exhausting it is.
pretending softness still comes easy. Your hoodie still hanging by the bedroom door. My earrings still physically tangled together. Like the relationship hasn't realized it's changing yet. Outside, rainwater dragged across the window softly. Headlights moved across the ceiling. You reached for my hand absent-mindedly, and for a second I almost cried, because your body still loves me instinctively, even while your mind feels somewhere far away lately.
Funny how much your heartbreak works. Nobody blocks anybody, nobody screams, nobody dramatically disappears. You just slowly notice the version of yourselves that felt effortless together stop showing up as often, and somehow that's lonelier than chaos.
We still know each other's breathing patterns, still wake up at the same sound,
still orbit around each other naturally.
Maybe that's why this hurts so quietly. No one else knows how much energy it takes to keep sounding okay lately. No one else knows how many conversations stop halfway now.
Still taking pictures together,
Still laughing at familiar jokes, still looking like home from a distance. Meanwhile inside this apartment, love feels softer, more fragile, more tired, but somehow
still here enough
to break our hearts slowly. No one else knows.
Maybe quiet heartbreak
It's still heartbreak. No one else knows how two people can love each other deeply
and still feel lonely together.
Kitchen light, 4 a.m. You're still not asleep. Your hoodie hanging off my shoulder still smells like downstairs cigarette smoke and peppermint gum. The dryer stopped an hour ago. Neither one of us moved to empty it. You kept scrolling through your phone, not texting anybody, just avoiding looking at me too long. Funny how distance changes shape. First it's emotional, then suddenly it lives in ordinary things. The side of the couch you choose, how long your hugs last, which version of your laugh I get now. Low glow, cold floor, everything echoing tonight. Soft size, blue screen, nobody saying what's wrong out loud. Still wearing your hoodie, even though it don't feel like you lately. Still sleeping on your side instinctively, like my body hasn't learned the difference yet. Still reaching for your hand during movies, still waiting for you to look at me the old way. And somehow that's the cruel part. Nothing ended, but nothing feels untouched anymore. The bathroom mirror still fogged up, your toothbrush leaning against mine, like objects in this apartment haven't realized what's happening before we have. Outside, sirens blur through wet streets, the elevator hums somewhere downstairs, and the whole city felt exhausted, the same way we do lately. You asked if I wanted tea, and that careful voice people use when they're trying not to start another conversation. They're too tired to finish. TV glow, long pause, everything dragging slower than night. Half smiles, no eye contact, nobody saying what's changing out loud. Still wearing your hoodie, even though it don't feel like you lately. Still sleeping on your side instead. relationships don't break suddenly. Maybe they fade through repetition, through tiredness, through time, and through two people quietly missing older versions of each other. Still wearing your hoodie. Still wearing your hoodie while the kitchen light keeps buzzing softly. 4 a.m. painted blue across the apartment. Neither one of us asleep yet. Still hearing your keys hit the counter. Still memorizing the sound automatically. And somewhere between habit and heartbreak, I think we're both trying to figure out when exactly this started hurting. We used to know this by heart.
Didn't even have to think about it.
Now every little thing feel careful.
Like love got harder to carry lately.
You still reach for me in your sleep sometimes, like your body remember us better than your mind do lately.
Rainwater sliding softly down the windows.
The apartment smelling like coffee, laundry detergent, and unfinished conversations again.
Funny how relationships rarely collapse all at once. Most of the time they slowly lose rhythm until two people who once felt effortless together
start second guessing every silence.
You still know exactly when I'm pretending to be okay. Still hear exhaustion in my voice immediately. Still move closer during thunderstorms, like some parts of us never stop loving naturally. And honestly,
that's what hurts the most.
not distance, not arguments, just realizing how easy this used to feel before life got heavy.
Nobody became the villain, nobody stopped caring completely.
We just got tired at the same time.
We used to know this by heart.
Loving each other didn't feel this fragile before.
We used to fall asleep laughing.
Now we fall asleep overthinking quietly.
Still sharing the same apartment.
Still touching each other automatically.
Still looking like love to everybody else.
Meanwhile us,
we keep trying to remember how softness used to happen naturally. By heart, by heart.
we used to move through each other effortlessly.
By heart, by heart.
Now every beautiful moment feels temporary somehow.
Your hoodie still hanging near the hallway chair. My perfume still trapped inside the fabric somewhere. The television glowing softly against the walls. Neither one of us really watching it.
You asked
You wanna order food?
in that same low voice,
They used to make every bad day easier instantly.
and suddenly I missed her so hard.
It physically hurt for a second.
Because you're still here,
Still,
familiar.
still home in certain ways.
Outside, headlights drag silver across the ceiling. You leaned your head against my shoulder quietly, not trying to fix anything, just tired of pretending distance don't exist anymore. And maybe that's maturity, realizing love doesn't always disappear dramatically. Sometimes it simply becomes harder to hold gently.
You still know each other's breathing patterns.
Still wake up at the
Same sound.
still orbit around each other instinctively. Maybe that's why letting go feels impossible. We used to know this by heart, back when midnight felt romantic instead of emotionally complicated.
Back when silence felt peaceful
Instead of heavy,
still hearing comfort inside your tired voice,
still finding pieces of us
inside ordinary moments.
And maybe that's
what makes this beautiful too.
not perfect love,
Not easy love,
just two people
trying to stay soft with each other,
even while
slowly breaking by heart, by heart.
maybe some love stories don't end loudly.
By heart, by heart. Maybe they just fade slowly inside the people who live them. Stay until morning. Don't let the night end this quietly. The city looks silver underneath the rain again. Headlights drifting slowly across the ceiling. Your hoodie still hanging near the bedroom door. My perfume still trapped somewhere inside the fabric. And honestly,
Everything about tonight felt softer than usual.
not healed, not fixed, just less heavy.
You move closer against the couch cushions carefully,
Like both of us understood how fragile this love feels lately.
without needing to say it out loud.
Nobody trying to win tonight.
Nobody reopening old arguments.
We just look emotionally tired in the same room together. Stay until morning.
Even if tomorrow's still confusing,
Stay until morning.
even if we still don't know how to fix this completely.
You still calm my breathing naturally. Still reach for my hand, half asleep. Still sound like home during the loneliest hours.
And maybe that's enough for tonight.
Stay. The world already cold enough outside this apartment. Stay. We don't gotta solve everything before sunrise.
Rainwater sliding slowly against the balcony rails. The television glow fading softer through the dark. You rested your head against my shoulder quietly, and somehow that tiny movement felt emotionally enormous. Funny how much your love changes shape. It stops sounding cinematic, stops sounding effortless, and starts sounding like,
Did you eat?
text me when you're home. You can sleep here tonight if you want.
Small things, quiet things, human things.
And honestly, maybe that's still beautiful too.
Your breathing finally slow beside me.
The room stopped feeling emotionally sharp.
For the first time in weeks,
Silence felt comforting again.
stay until morning. Let's not overthink the future for a few more hours. Stay until morning. Let's just exist beside each other softly tonight.
Still memorizing each other's breathing patterns, still moving closer instinctively in the dark. Still
emotionally tangled together in ways neither of us fully understand anymore. And maybe love don't always need certainty. And maybe sometimes it just needs gentleness. Slowly, night after night, conversation after conversation, until two people either drift apart or learn softer ways to hold each other.
And honestly, I don't know what we become after tonight.
But hearing you breathe beside me again,
still feel like something worth protecting.
Stay.
Maybe healing sound quiet too.
Stay.
Maybe tenderness survives longer than certainty.
Stay until morning, while the rain keep falling outside these windows. Stay until morning, while the city slowly disappears in a sunrise.
Still hearing comfort inside your tired voice.
Still feeling calmer when your fingers find mine.
Still believe in some part of us.
Remember how to love naturally.
And maybe tomorrow
will still be complicated,
still uncertain,
still fragile.
but tonight
we were gentle again.
and maybe that's enough.
Stay. Some love stories don't end loudly. Sometimes they survive quietly inside ordinary